Welcome to the Infinite Life, consciousness raising, spiritual transformation. I'm your host, Katish Haberfield. I am a channel of spiritual beings who portray, display, embody, and convey higher spiritual intelligence to help us humans who are incarnated here today on Earth on our journey of not only a single spiritual awakening, but multiple spiritual awakenings. We're all here to help, and there's bound to be an episode or an entire season that will help you on your journey. So I'll let you explore them. But if you would like to work with me in a private capacity, you can head to katish.com. And thank you. Bless your soul and namaste. I wish you well on your journey. Enjoy the episode today. In this episode, you'll hear a one-question session with Ayden Callender. Ayden is one of the contributing authors in an upcoming collaborative book that I'm a part of, and he brings a question around his healing abilities and what the next level of that looks like for him. This is a question that often comes up for people who feel that they're ready to step into something more, but aren't entirely sure how that's meant to unfold or be expressed. As with all of the sessions in this season, I'll take a moment to clarify the question, and then I'll connect and bring through the most appropriate being in the light to respond. What follows is the full transmission. Have you thought of a question that you would like to ask?
Yes. Do you want it now?
Yep. So
Okay.
hit me with your question, Ayden.
Okay. What is the next level of my healing abilities and how am I meant to step into and share them now?
Ooh, that's a juicy question. Okay, let me say it back to you so I understand it.
Okay.
Okay, so Ayden wants to know, what are my next level of my healing abilities and what's the first step that I should take to step into them now? Is that right? And to share them, yeah. Yeah, step into them and share them, yeah. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to look straight ahead at the camera rather than you. And I invite you to take a deep breath in and exhale. And then I just invite you to understand that the energy is coming from the heart space. So from a definition of love to help and to guide you, that's what is going to come through. Okay,
Wonderful.
the angel is here to guide and assist, and I will just let myself connect with whether she is going to bring through the energy and the information or whether she will be bringing in someone. So just give me a minute or two. Okay. So the angel is going to work as the interface for the moment. Okay, because what she sees is that you do not need a complete revolution. You are asked to communicate with the part of you that wishes to communicate your service offering clearly to the world, because she laughs like this one here does. She has skills that she has felt that she was here to do, and then she felt that she needed to move through to something else or close it down because she thought she had finished or completed with something. And she had felt a very large wasting of time with other careers that she had, and we had always reminded her that you are not here as a healer. And she says, unlike Ayden, you are here as a facilitator. And you are here to heal yourself so that you could step into your next role. Now, Ayden, you have a very specific connection to a higher self who is the keeper of the dragons. And Katish did also know that she wanted to connect you with, I think it was 3 people that she specifically knew you were here to help and to guide. Now, we will not mention those 3 people's names, but some of them are very, very familiar with the dragon energy. Some of them have connections with newborn dragons that are coming through to the earth right now. Some of them have been painted and sketched with dragons, but do not see them in their daily presence. And she's had a temporary blank and memory loss, but that's fine. She will know how to connect you. And she's connected you etherically already. But she says she does not know how, in her human self, to best connect you because they do not need healing. So here's the hint, Ayden. There is a part of you that needs to step up and step into and educate the world about dragons. And that is for the benefit of those who come before you who have known dragons and have connected other people with dragons, but do not know in such a vivid and visceral way like you experienced when you had your, is it dragon spine or dragon reconfiguration that came through for you. Now, that is a huge privilege, and it is not a sign of a struggle. It is a sign of development, awareness, not entitlement, not ego, but a purest soul transmission that allowed you to bring through not a holographic imprint, not a mirror of who you are, but to bring through the truest version of your true energetic blueprint. And most human beings think of dragons in two camps. They say they're either a fairy tale, they're a myth or a legend. We put them on our sporting flags, we put them on our flags of countries, but we hold them in high esteem and we're afraid of them. But we also don't really believe that they're real. We think they're perhaps a little bit like the Loch Ness monster. They are for fiction. And what happens is we then have those people who think, oh, I can have great adventures and I can show people that these mythical creatures are real and they can have experiences and they may find past lives with them. Like Katish found a past life with a dragon who she wrote a poem about. But there is this bridge between understanding the mythical creature, the etheric creature, if we use that word very liberally, you know, the creature that exists in between the realms that you have to go into a deep trance state, and the version that is here in front of us today. Okay? You don't look spiky and scary. You look fairly friendly. You've been on your own journey to be Ayden here today. And that is because you had to combine, as you told Katish in an interview via your publisher, that it was to embody both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Now, humanity has, in truth, seen dragons in their masculine, right? They know them as defenders. They know them as protectors. They know them as breath enhancing fireballs of energy. And yes, there are those dragons that have also been used in darkness, in dark times, in wars. They have been chained and enslaved, and we have seen the movies that have shown this. We have kids who have grown up with little dragon cartoon character figurines, like Toothless, I think is the name of the being that Katisha knows, for it looks like one of her dragons as well. And she used her dragons in her darkest, deepest moments to help her confront limiting beliefs of hers and a karmic connection that she could not sort out in the Akashic realm. And they physically appeared in her realm, in her house, and were literally like throwing swords and darts. Okay, so now she knows where that sword came from yesterday because they were in battle. They were the queen's dragons who she was married to in that lifetime. And that queen was one who was both very beloved but also very wounded in the heart by her actions when she was a male. And so that queen came back as part of her, what you may call life review session, to throw all of her feelings and hatred towards her. You betrayed me. I hate you. I love you. I can't be without you. We've made an eternal vow, a karmic bond, an unbreakable bond, a kind of a Harry Potter kind of I'm imprinted on you. I've left a portion of my soul in you You need to do good by me for me to be free. And it was really very nasty. And she got the dragons to help both of them without realizing. She thought that these were just her own beliefs. And it was only recently when we told her, no, she came here to fight you. And you were like, oh, here's my beautiful queen. No, she asked you to bow down in front of you. She refused to talk to you unless you called her your royal highness. Yet you were the king in that lifetime. So what she does by illustrating this story, which is a very previously very, very, very painful story for her, is that for her, the dragons were used in the darkest moment, and it allowed her to bring up some healing by reliving when a dragon had protected her. And by seeing her, shall we call her ex-wife, that will do as a term in modern times, as a precious being come back to help her, rather than, if we could say she had black wings at that moment from her rage and anger, she would have had black dragon wings behind her, or black angel wings, if you like, just flared up and breathing flames at her. And she thought, oh, here she is, she's come to help me. And it was that love that pierced her shield of her heart and allowed her then to help her go on a journey and do some work which we won't mention today. But the point of this is that people don't understand that dragons can be used this way. And Katisha's dragons have come back when they, as you humans would call, ascended to the light realms and shown her the times when they were enslaved and kept bondage by her soul. And she was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But it's the balance of the light and the dark. And she had to free them. And she had to go through a lot of what you would call heavy emotion to allow them to ascend past their service, protection, bondage kind of a relationship. And she was kind of like also very aghast that anybody would keep a dragon as a slave. And we showed her in her mind, well, what do you think that movie is about? Why do you think people have only ever thought of dragons as the way that they have thought of horses? We put a harness on them and we ride them. That's not what the main way we want humanity to move forward with understanding dragons. And it requires some boldness, but she knows people that can come forward with you, and there are many more out there. So we say, if you feel a calling to move and upgrade your skills, it's not upgrading your skills as the dragon healing. Katish has experienced that yesterday. It is perfect as it is. And what you need to know is it's the bridge between helping people understand that, like you, they can step forward and teach about dragons as healers, protectors, teachers, and whatever else you know from being both Ayden and how you see them in your work, and also how the protector, the keeper of the dragons does. So it's that bridging work to bridge the long journey ahead that humanity has, which says these are actually real, just like angels are real, but we're used to seeing them as Katisha's depicted in her background and in a religious context only. They are real. They are around. And people have come here on a journey to Earth to help you transcend that and to help you understand there are many ways that dragons can be used and their energy can be used, and healing is one way. So we invite that you step into the journey of perhaps documenting your journey. And you're doing this already with this book that you're both in, but you could do simple things, and we don't know particularly what appeals to you, but it could be poetry, painting, writing blogs. It could be starting a podcast like Katisha's done, and simply being honest and saying, maybe it's putting more pictures of dragons in my Facebook feed. Maybe it's putting a dragon message of the day. And it doesn't have to be a healing message. It can be, but it can just be words of distinction. If you're facing a battle today and then connect to either something from one of your lifetimes or one of your connecting family members to bring through a different perspective. It's a bit like Katisha's had a struggle trying to work with the words channel, because she says, my words aren't healing, I'm not bringing through the green ray of Archangel Raphael, so I don't call myself an angel healer, but we would say to her, if you could see the vibration that comes out of your mouth, it is green, so therefore it is healing words. But no, you're fine. We understand you don't wish to do angel healing sessions, so you must use your angelic capabilities to communicate and to teach in a way that is best. And for her, she gets very bogged down with strategy and logic and communication when she has to speak about her own journey. And we hope that since yesterday, she will find that much easier because you cleared all that gunk out. That was the final
Good.
step forward. So she says now she hopes she can demonstrate to you that she will have things come through that she never imagined she would say. And she just wants to, the angel is interpreting the energy in the aura. She just wants you to say, cast out your own form in your energy as big and bright and bold, because as you know, there are very many forms of dragons in the country that Katish lives in. They have water dragons and bearded dragons and blue tongue neck lizards that are versions of dragons, and they run everywhere. They're in everyone's garden. So the dragon energy has incarnated in very many forms, and society just needs to understand that yes, they may encounter you in the street, and your journey is to overcome what she has had to also confront and is still learning to overcome. Hi, I am a dragon healer. I do dragon Reiki. I teach about dragons. I write books about dragons. I do stories. I do videos. My wife and I work together to help people understand the many benefits of dragons. And yes, they are real. And yes, if you wish to come and work with me in session, I will show you. But sometimes the bridge that needs to be crossed is, as we have said with her in her own mind, it's you don't have to teach in the way that your scholarly teachers taught you. You don't have to teach in the way that the universities and the school system taught you. Those are ways that are great for logic and rhetoric and things that you must tick off in checkpoints. You don't have to create a 10 lists of dragon healing benefits. You just have to gently imbue the energy. Sorry, she has a big block in her heart slash lungs from, there we go, not sitting up straight. She's moved that now. She was conscious. She thought she might burp. And that's not very ladylike, she says. So, no, okay, yes. I was about to say that she'll probably rip one out later, but she's like, no, I am being very on my best behavior, Angel. Please don't do that to me today.
No judgment.
So that is the main message we have, is that there is not another level for your healing modality. And she just saw the Dragon Keeper walk away. And maybe he had an agenda. Maybe he had an agenda that he wanted you to do. But she's bringing through the truth of the moment, which is, Ayden, build your community. Build your community. Find the people that are like you and help them also as a team raise the visibility and make it normal so that it becomes very easy for you to market, because we don't think if somebody put dragon healing in a Google search that there would be very many opportunities. So whether it be public speaking, whether it be book writing, whether it be simply posting flyers, you don't have to spend a lot of money doing it. Facebook people find you easily. And maybe it's a simple free website with a few blogs that heavily use the SEO term dragon, but just simply continuing to share your story, maybe going on some podcasts and really being selective to ensure that people understand. And perhaps it is a service you can provide, Ayden. Perhaps you can put a second link up on your website that says, I think I don't need dragon healing, but I think I need to talk to somebody about my feelings about dragons. You will find that those conversations end up being mentoring conversations, coaching conversations, or maybe they are an indication, as we know you do past life regression as well, that that person has had some kind of an experience with a dragon, and that they need to confront those fears and reconnect with that being so that they can be their guide. Because as Katish knows, there are many baby dragons that have been born into the world right now as dragons, not in the form that you have chosen to come, who have been born to be the main spirit guide, not just spirit animal guide, spirit guide for newborns who are coming into Earth right now. There's an entire nursery. And the problem is they have to wait for those children to be able to see them. And we know that children aged 0 to 7 should be able to see them, but it depends upon their fears that might be encoded karmically from the last time they incarnated with a dragon. So we expect there to be a plethora of more children's storybooks and movies with dragons as humanity confronts its history with dragons in this and other locations. And yes, this has been Archangel Michael stepping in, because you can see how her voice suddenly changed. But yes, this is part of the removing the fear from the heart of humanity, because in these times of what you humans call war and we call extreme advanced level A plus 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 discovery of war and karma, dragons know the energy of war, and we don't want Earth to be in this extreme A plus 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 duality environment anymore. So humans do need to understand how to use the energy of the dragon and confront their fears, because when they realize that animals are not to be enslaved, and when they realize that animals are not to be vehicles for war, they will free the dragon energy from the planet, and then they will be able to become guides for the various incarnated people's next steps. So I think that is pretty much what we wanted to say to you today, is that yes, you are a very experienced and skilled healer in your new modality and the dragon healing. Plus you have the past life regression. Plus we believe you can step forward and be a bridge in terms of either a teacher, a mentor, or a coach, or an educator, some way in small steps, so that you don't get overwhelmed, to start the journey, to be the bridge of both the healing and working with the mind that wishes to be intellectual but knows that there is a wealth of knowledge that the dragon community can bring to both the parents of the babies that are being born right now, the grandparents who probably have more mystical experiences than the parents, and then the newborns. For your life is not to be short, Ayden. So, people look to wise people and they give them more and more credibility as you get older. So, say in your 80th year, perhaps you may experience that those newborns right now are coming to you for very specific wisdom and advice. So, see it as a long-term arc of your bridge life on this planet, so that you can embrace all aspects. And it also allows you to see the multifaceted energy behind your soul, and perhaps bring in some of that wisdom from perhaps maybe say other parts of the dragon keepers, not mind, knowledge that he himself needs to decide if he is ready to upgrade and step into as well.
Beautiful. Wow. Thank you.
Okay, I hope that has been helpful.
Wow. What a gift.
Thank you. That was very interesting. I found it very interesting. I will do as the angel asked me to. I will send you the profiles of the people who I know, and then I will ask you whether you would like to contact them by yourself, or you would like me to do like what they call a three-way discussion to introduce you. And as I said, these people are a combination of both very well versed in the dragon world and also not at all. I think that's the best way to leave it there. How did that information make you feel? Did it resonate as being both exciting and truthful?
Absolutely. I've been very much stepping into a role of trying to teach people on a level that they can understand how to just overcome even just simple things such as limiting beliefs. And as far as the teaching about dragons, that is not one thought that had crossed my mind, but I can totally see how me stepping into that would be beneficial, because I do have an uncanny ability to be able to help people understand anything. I mean, really. And it's not coming from ego. It's literally just because I understand that big words, even for myself, as we hear speakers, are complicated. And I always have told people in my life as I've progressed, let's dumb it down. Let's dumb it down a little bit. Put it on a level of easy so we can all understand. And that's always been my goal with everything that I try to explain to anyone is let's just make it as simple and as easy as possible to understand. And I can totally see me doing that. So I'm
Yeah,
excited
perfect.
to have a direction.
Okay, perfect. And
Mhm.
for people who are listening to this episode of the podcast, all you need to do is click on the episode description, and on Ayden's name, it will be hot linked so that you can go directly to his website and you can have a look at how you can connect with him.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. It's been an honor.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
If you resonated with this session and you would like to ask your own question, there are 2 ways that you can work with me. One, you can book a private one-question session where we focus on an area of your life and bring through a direct transmission for you. Or, if you're navigating something more complex and would like a deeper level of clarity, you can book a full direct transmission session where we explore your situation in more detail, channel the guidance, and provide structured next steps. All of the details are in the links. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.